So I get back from the place that I go to, Dollar General. It's freaking hot. Like 100 degrees already, plus the humidity. Like even Texas didn't have this kind of humidity. It would get 100 plus degrees, but the humidity, at least in San Antonio where I lived, it wasn't really that bad. But no, it's like hot here, and then it's like giving a level 1 character a level boost, and they just like it is just up. So, I mean, I can handle it because, again, I lived in freaking Texas and California. So, it's ridiculous that it's like 100 plus degrees, or it feels like it's 100 plus degrees thanks to the humidity out there. Um, anyway, I came home. I was like, let's do some videos. So the Ray movie, which has already been hit with setbacks, um, I think I've talked about it a few times, made like one or two videos about it, how they want this Ray movie, but like he keeps getting hit with stuff like setbacks, like, oh, well, the script, or this person left, or whatever the case is. But the Ray movie is delayed again. Star Wars hits another bump, according to Lucasfilm Pooper Scoopers. Star Wars fans, those who remain, because just like Doctor Who and all those other IPs that have been around since the 60s and 70s, people are losing interest. People are losing interest in the movies. Just like Doctor Who, there's plenty of Star Wars content. It's just they're not movies. There's comics, stuff like that. Same thing with Doctor Who. People are losing interest in the show, so they're turning to the audio dramas. They're turning to the comics. Um, they're turning to like older episodes, the original Doctor Who and stuff like that. And Star Wars, like I said, no different. People are just tired of the new crap. Um, and then they want to take a character like Rey, who no one really likes in the first place, because as she's been named, she's Daisy. She's a Mary Sue. This is a girl who no formal training, and yet she's able to do shit that Jedi who have trained for years still have issue accomplishing. But it's like, hey guys, look what I can do. I'm strong and fierce. I am woman. So people, she comes along. She, no one likes her character. And then Daisy Ridley herself coming out and like, oh, men are sexist, and no, they don't like this because they are sexist and misogynist, and so she had to open her mouth, and that just killed the mood for it even more. So, but people are tired of the newer stuff. Um, Star Wars fans, those who remain, get ready for a slew of rumors regarding the Rey movie and a dose of accurate truth we're ready to relay. The city of Relay, he lays sleeping. My Lord and Savior, Lord Cthulhu, will one day rise up and rule the world in darkness. Um, Lucasfilm has reportedly put its Rey Skywalker-led Star Wars movie on hold, according to multiple industry insiders. While not officially canceled, the project, once touted as the next major theatrical chapter in the Star Wars saga, has been quietly moved to the back burner amid internal restructuring and shifting franchise priorities. Yeah, I think the last time it was like we heard that someone who was working on it left and this and that. Honestly, the more problems that come up, the better, because that almost ensures that we won't get it. Look at all the other movies that we've seen that aren't happening. There's like between that and games or whatever else. We were supposed to have the Blade, like a new Blade movie. Doesn't seem like that's happening, but sometimes it's for the best, because again, no one really likes Ray that much. No one really. Now, if they were to make one about, I don't know. Well, then again, Mark Hamill's already said he's not coming back. He's pretty much done with Luke. Seeing kind of like what happened in between. How did Luke get to the place that we see him in, where he's just a, you know, if to see how we got from point A to point B, and all the stuff in between, that'd be cool. But Instead, we just see Luke, and he's just like this grumpy hermit who's just sipping from his thermos and yelling at the clouds all day. So, but the film, tentatively titled Star Wars: New Jedi Order, was set to star Daisy Ridley as in her return as Rey, rebuilding the Jedi Order 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. It was to be directed by Academy Award-winning documentarian Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, and had cycled through several writers, including, yeah, I don't really care, but like I said, that was another reason why it's been delayed, because they just couldn't find a writer to stay. According to by a report by Entertainment Insider Daniel Rickman, the film has been placed on hold while Lucasfilm focuses on other projects in development. Among those are The Mandalorian Grogu, currently in production, scheduled to be released on May 22nd, 2026. And director Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter, which has reportedly cast Ryan Gosling, the new Black Panther, has been targeted for 2027 release. However, not all industry voices agree on the term "on hold." Journalist Jeff Schneider has pushed back on the characterization, stating Lucasfilm doesn't have a finished script yet, so it's not on hold. It's actively being written. It's on hold because they keep losing writers, so basically they have to keep starting from scratch. Um, they're just waiting on it. His comments suggest that the project remains in development limbo rather than an outright pause, but confirms that production is nowhere near starting. Of course, it should be noted that Rey was supposed to release in 2025, not still being in script writing limbo. Yeah, it was supposed to be released, but again, something keeps happening with production or with the writing or whatever. The uncertainty stems from part of Lucasfilm's evolving release strategy. The studio, under the leadership of Kathleen Kennedy, oh boy, is now spacing out major theatrical releases and giving more breathing room between projects, with Disney facing pressure. They're under pressure, facing pressure to revive Star Wars theatrically after a 6-year absence. 6 years sounds like it's a lot, but it's not. It's really not. So maybe you should let Star Wars just kind of chill out a little bit. Let it float in the darkness of space, just chilling for a little bit, and then one day when it truly feels right, when a truly amazing story can be told, not just, oh hey, we have this IP, let's make as much money from it as possible. No, that's not what you want to do. You want to tell amazing stories. So maybe it should float in the darkness, the coldness of space, chilling for a little bit. Do not bring it back until you have something truly amazing, something what Star Wars used to be. I don't really like Star Wars, but what I know, it's amazing. The things it's achieved and accomplished in cinema and storytelling, and the fact that it was 1974 or something like that, and it's still going on today. That is truly incredible. Like, I don't like the movies, but I truly appreciate what George Lucas has managed to achieve. Anyone with a modicum of sense can look at these movies and understand what he's managed to achieve. And seeing the newer stuff, it's like this isn't Star Wars. This is not the galaxy far, far away that we know. This is just like, hey guys, you guys remember Star Wars? Of course you do, because we just released a shitty movie 2 years ago. Well, we're back with another shitty movie. It's not about good storytelling anymore. It's about making money, which is Disney's whole thing, just making money. They don't even care about good stories anymore. So maybe they should just let it freeze in the coldness of space until it's ready to be brought back. Because I think it will be more effective that way when, after, 10, 15 years, I mean, it wouldn't be that long, But after so long, they come back and they hit you with the greatest story ever fucking told. People will be comparing it to the fucking Bible. You know, people say that the Bible is the greatest story ever told. Well, this movie will come out and people are like, oh my god, this rivals the fucking Bible. This movie, this story was incredible. I'm gonna go back to see it again. That's what you want. You want people to watch the movie and want to go back for seconds. Especially people who like dissecting movies and all that. Like, oh, hey, I didn't notice that the first time. Instead, it's just like, okay, movie's over. Okay. I mean, that was killed almost 2 hours. Okay, it was okay. You know, I might get it when it comes out on DVD. I might stream it, but it was okay. It was You know, that's not what Star Wars is. People want it to blow their fucking balls off, but that's not what they want anymore. Um, Additionally, a rumor new. We don't need any new trilogies. Let it just be individual stories and just stick with that. A rumored new trilogy spearheaded by Simon Kinberg may be influencing how and when Rey's story unfolds. Sources suggest that rather than a standalone feature, Rey may be repositioned as a key character across oh boy, multiple interconnected films, further delaying the timeline of the new Jedi Order as originally conceived. The project's turbulent development history also contributed to layers. Lindelof departed the film early on. Yeah, like I said, it was one thing after another. You know, whether it be production or writers or whatever the case is, it was just, I think was it 2-3 years or something? It was supposed to be in 2025. So this year it was supposed to come out, but we were hearing last year that it was delayed, and I think the year before that. So I think for the last year or two, they've just one delay after another for whatever reason. For fans of Rey in the sequel trilogy era, does Rey really have fans? Or people just like her because, oh my god, she's a strong, powerful woman? Her fans are mainly those, I think. The ones who are like, well, I don't know anything much about Star Wars, but she's a strong, powerful woman. She's great representation and a great role model for girls everywhere. The news may be disappointing. Daisy Ridley's return was announced with fanfare at 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, Star Wars Celebration, and the film was expected to help steer the franchise in the next chapter post Skywalker saga. For now, it appears that Lucasfilm is content with the last to let the Jedi rest, at least temporarily. Good, let them. When New Jedi Order may eventually see the light of day, its fate may now be is now tethered to the completion of a script, the performance of other Star Wars films in the pipeline, and a broader strategy to revitalize the brand on big screen. More importantly, however, we like to add one more nugget, just a chestnut of truth for readers so that you can make sense of what's really happening at Lucasfilm. No official release date has been set for the film prior to this repeated pause. No script is finished, with Kathleen Kennedy almost certain to leave Lucasfilm, which people think is a good thing, but apparently the people they say might replace her, it's just as bad. They're just as bad as she is. It's some other guy, forgot the name, but everyone's like, basically it's Kathleen Kennedy 2.0. So it's like, yay, we got rid of her just for someone just like her to come in and screw things up even more. So it's up to next Star Wars leaders to decide what to do with Rey. Daisy's not getting any younger. She's never had starlet looks like Princess Leia did. Yeah. Damn, that bikini scene. Daisy will never match that in her boring androgynous gray suit, so common sense says that any movie with her with the lead will seriously underperform. As already happened, of course, but now the Star Wars brand is a DEI joke. Yeah, Carrie Fisher had that look. She had that look. You know, she she like exuded femininity while also being strong and powerful. Because Princess Leia wasn't just a Mario kind of character. No, she was very proactive. Very proactive. She is that kind of person that women should aspire to be. Not Rey, who comes in and just somehow knows how to do everything without any formal training. Who's just, hey, look at me. Look what I can do. No, Princess Leia was a role model for women. You know, they come along and try to push this, oh, girl boss, she don't need no man. But then her character is completely bland. You know, all it is her sticking it to the men and, oh, fuck the patriarchy and all this other bullshit. When you had characters like Leia who were doing the same thing, but also, again, exuded femininity, who were vulnerable and who weren't afraid to open up and ask for help, who weren't just a damsel in distress, who were very proactive, who didn't care about getting their hands messy, who didn't rely solely on men, but knew that they would need a man's help. But nowadays, it's the era of the girl boss. Yeah, slay queen. And it's because of that, no one really likes Rey. Had she been a Leia type figure, it would have been a more positive experience. But no, it's, again, the era of the boss queen, this putting men in their place, and look at me, I can do everything the men can do, but better. Gee, can't imagine why they don't like her character. Can't imagine why they call her a Mary Sue. You had a great template there in the form of Princess Leia. You should have just kept that. Feminine, gorgeous, badass, but also has that sensitive side where she's not afraid to be vulnerable, where she opens up, where she realizes that, yes, while she is a strong, powerful, independent woman, she does need the help of someone sometimes. And that person may happen to be a man. But no, we can't have writing like that anymore, can we? Anyway, again, Star Wars just needs to just kind of, in the vastness of space for a little bit, let it chill out until there's truly a story that they can tell that can blow our fucking balls off. Men want to go in and have their balls blown off. Women should aspire to go in and become pregnant after leaving the film. You know, because it is that fucking good. But can't have writing like that anymore. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.